Hello, Chase. How are you? It's great to see you again.
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Well, thank you. It's nice to have you here. I'm really excited about this because it's my first interview with one of my clients. You were actually one of my first clients, or actually my first client for the Mastering Sales Influence coaching program that I offer, which, as you know, it's a 4-week coaching program. And, what we're going to do today is I'm going to ask you a couple of questions to see how you found the coaching, what results you were getting from it or not still getting from it, and how you think that benefited you and perhaps how it could benefit other people. So is it okay if I start asking you a few questions and we just talk from there?
Yeah, that's fine.
Excellent, excellent. Okay. So give me a bit of a brief background about yourself. Tell us a little bit about Chase.
Well, maybe dating just a few years back. So this past May, I had actually just graduated from university, from college, and my focus there was in business, but in information technology, IT, specifically like database management and all that kinds of stuff. So coming from that perspective, I mostly dealt with computers. Mostly, most of my experience came from actual building websites as a freelancer, which was a good experience for me. It was very fun, just building these websites, putting them together, kind of solving problems here and there, and it was kind of like my own little business during college that I was running for myself. I made some money doing it as well, and it was actually in that stage of my life, right? Maybe starting in the sophomore year of college, going into junior year, senior year, that I had experienced actual one-to-one selling, right? So that's kind of my first real taste of selling there.
Okay.
And then from there, I graduated college and actually got a job in IT, right, as a systems analyst. And kind of just went from there and gained more experience in the field. But at the same time, I was interested in sales. I've always been interested in connecting with people. I'm not sure if you know about the Shaper app, right? So it's the one that you swipe right, swipe left for connections. I was always on that app trying to connect with people, especially local businesses who wanted new websites, right? So I've always been interested in the sales aspect and a marketing aspect of things.
I think that's excellent because I think, as we all know, is that if you want to grow your business or anything in life, really, you need to know how to sell. If you want to form relationships with people, you need to know how to communicate with them and lead them and influence them and persuade them, because that's how you build really powerful relationships. So yes, that's really true and excellent.
Yeah.
So tell me, what was your results like before you did the Mastering Sales Influence coaching with me? You said you started going into selling. How was your results? Were you getting great results?
I think they were, to me, they were decent results. And it was actually, so I mentioned I was working in IT. So at the same time as I got out of college, I was working in IT, but also I was in a sales role part-time. So it would be after work hours or on weekends, I'd be basically selling. And so, being that I was working on part-time and, kind of fresh out of the gate in a sense, I think they were decent, but they definitely could have been much better in terms of, my attitude on the calls and my confidence on the calls. And just sort of, being able to ask the right questions and not being afraid to ask the right questions to people, in order to lead them, because that's really what people want from a salesperson, is leadership and good insights, right, that they can actually take with them, whether they make a decision or not.
That's definitely true. And if I understand it correctly, you were selling high-ticket items. I think range from about $3,000 to $12,000 investment.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So what motivated you to hire me as your coach? I know we had this conversation, and then, we spoke and you said, hey, I'd like to hire you as a coach. What motivated you?
Yeah. So we had our initial conversation where you would kind of explain to me what you felt that sales was about, and you shared with me your perspective on it.
That's
And
right.
there was a certain point in that conversation where I had mentioned exactly what I was just talking about, a minute ago, was having the confidence to ask certain questions of people, right? Whether it be, maybe they're going through a specific challenge and learning about that challenge, digging a little deeper into it, or maybe they even just had a goal and we wanted to paint the picture a little better, right? So I was always kind of afraid to get into someone's personal life in that way. Maybe it's just the way that I grew up, or because I come from Hawaii, so it's
Okay.
we don't really dig too deep into people's personal lives over there. At least growing up, I didn't. So it was something that I had to kind of overcome, and not necessarily a personal life kind of thing, but things that are necessary that we need to know in order to solve with our programs and products and services.
That's right.
So you had mentioned to me on that initial call where, hey, you have this, maybe this is a certain way that you can do that, right? So I remember it was about, when I've described the program and the service that we offer, right, instead of just kind of letting it go after that, saying, hey, on that basis, or based on what we've talked about so far, shall we move forward from here on? Or you phrased it better at that point, but it was, things like that, right, that I was always afraid to do. And just from that initial conversation, you helped me overcome that. So.
Excellent. Okay. Yes, I agree with you. I think when we work with clients, we need to ask them very specific questions so that we can see how we can serve them. Because that's really what it's all about in any sales environment, is how can I serve my client? Okay. Because if you can help that person to break through whatever it is that's holding them back to achieve their goals and their dreams, then, and you can offer them a solution that can help them do that, then generally people buy from you. You don't have to sell. You don't have to become the slick sales guy that, has to get people and manipulate them and, put pressure on them and things like that. People tend to buy from you when they realize that you can actually help them. So you're totally right. I can still clearly remember that when we looked at our conversation, the sales conversation we had, because I was looking at a program that you guys were offering. And, I can still clearly remember what you said is, yes, there were certain instances where you didn't take the lead. And as a salesperson, you need to take the lead.
Exactly.
Because you're the expert. You can guide your client to where they want to go. So you need to take the lead and guide them. So that's important. Yeah. Excellent. Okay. How long was the coaching for? The coaching that we did?
It was 4 weeks. 4 weeks. 2 sessions per week.
That's it. Excellent. And what results did you get from the coaching? Immediately, let's say after the first couple of sessions and during the rest of the coaching?
Yeah. So immediately, so like I was saying, it was just having the confidence, right, to ask certain questions, because, I've always felt that I could converse with people, quite well, or, in a calm manner, kind of connect with them. But I was never confident enough to, again, ask those questions or, say certain things that'll say, hey, look, this is something that you really need to do, and this is how you can do it, right? I for some reason, I just couldn't get that out of my mouth on a sales conversation. But that was something immediate that came out. And during the training, I did mention that I could connect with people, but at the same time, kind of the methods that you've taught me and sort of what we go through during a call, it's helped me connect with people at a much deeper level, right? So, and I found that when you're able to do that, when you're able to actually, sort of form a relationship right on the spot, and I guess quote unquote vibe with people, right? It makes the conversation much smoother, and it allows for more openness on both ends, both
Yes.
the client and the salesperson. And when you do go to make those suggestions or ask those certain questions, it doesn't feel so scary, right? There's no,
Yes.
it's like you're talking to a friend and you're making a recommendation. You're sharing with them helpful insights.
Yeah. You're totally correct, because yes, once you have that connection, your questions are no longer invasive. Although, we sometimes feel that if you ask a personal question or a specific question, that it can be invasive. But like you rightly say, if you connected with that person, it's no longer invasive. They see that question as helpful, and that's really what it's about, because you need to be able to connect at that level to be able to serve them. Because at the end of the day, if they don't open up to you and you don't open up to them, then it's not really a true exchange of information. So you work with maybe incorrect information to try and help them achieve what they want.
Yeah.
But once they open up and they share the real situation with them and with their reality, then you can help them. Okay. Yeah. So that's excellent. Okay, great. So if we look at your results, if we can maybe look at it, I would like to really dive into that specifically. What results did you get specifically from the coaching we did together? If we look at maybe sales goals you achieved or sales numbers you achieved, maybe other kinds of results, confidence results, anything else that impacted you. I don't want to lead you. I want you to share with me what you found. So, but those kind of things, specifically, what type of results did you get?
So in terms of kind of concrete sales results, it's been, since the time of our coaching till now, over $100,000 in sales. And that, first of all, during our coaching as well, you had told me to always track, right, what you've been doing, and you make use of your IT knowledge and use some spreadsheets, and since I actually done that, right, and I can see the numbers there, it was just surprising to me, right? So being able to say, like, I've closed over 6 figures in sales in a matter of months and part-time, right? That was kind of phenomenal for me. So that's on the sales end of things for numbers. And I think something even better than that, and probably, to me, even more profound, is that now the people that I've spoken with who have become clients always say that they've had some great conversations with me, right? So with the connecting piece of everything, making sure that we connect at a bit of a deeper level, and at the same time having the confidence to say the things that I was so scared to say, back then a few months ago, right? And I was always scared to say those things because I thought, hey, maybe they're going to think something different of me, or they're going to say, hey, this person is too pushy, that kind of thing. But it's sort of the opposite result in this case, right? They really love the conversations, and they really love how I lead them to a certain result that they're looking for. It's awesome.
Right. I know when we chatted a little while ago, you mentioned to me, because I can remember the specific figure you gave me. I think you said you did $137,090 in sales. Mm-hmm. And that's literally like 2.5 months after we finished our coaching. So that's really phenomenal. Okay. And because there's very few people that ever achieve those results. You did it in a fraction of an amount of time. Couple of months. Okay. And the other thing that I really am very proud of for you is that when we did our coaching in session 2, you said to me, Andre, I'd like to give up my IT job, my full day job, within 6 months. Okay. And I would like to go and sell full time. That as well happened in like 2.5 months, because you have given up your full-time job and you're now selling full time. Is that correct? Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
So that's a major achievement. Yeah. So now you had a very specific financial goal that you needed to do on a monthly basis before you could give up your day job. Mm-hmm. And so that is amazing that you've achieved that. It's really great.
Yeah.
And I think Yeah.
I do just really quick, I think, before that, it was a confidence thing for me. And just being able to know that, hey, I can actually make it in the sales arena. And not that I really doubted myself, but just having the confidence to do this full time and focus on it full time. Now that I've gained these certain skills, and I know, okay, I've closed quite a bit, doing this part time. I know now, right, going in full time and actually talking to more and more people, connecting with more and more people, I can really, I can. I think for me it's kind of it's a crazy thing to think about, because now it's sort of, I know my potential, and I know that, right, it's sort of unlimited for a salesperson, right? There's no kind of ceiling that you'll be hitting unless you run out of time, right? But I'm it's just having the confidence to go all out and do this that really helped me out.
Excellent. And I agree fully with you. I think that's what I love about selling, and I love about coaching as well, is that there is no ceiling. In other words, you can really go and change your life. You can create the life you want. If you're really great at sales, you can really create the life you want. Again, I'm not just talking financially, I'm talking about all areas of your life. And that is what is good. If you learn the skill sets that sales actually teach you, if you do sales properly, okay, all the skills that you learn from that, you can apply it in any area of your life. It's not just restricted to that one activity that you do. That's right. And I think that is amazing that you feel that way, that you've realized, no, I don't have a ceiling anymore. Where in your day job, you had a ceiling. Okay, we all have ceilings if we work for somebody else. But once we take control of our own life, we can really create anything we feel like. And that's amazing. So congratulations on that. I think it's spectacular results, because imagine 137,000 in a couple of months part-time. They're not even full-time. So just imagine what you can do if you're now doing it like you are full-time.
That's right.
So in a couple of months, I'd love to hear the results that you're busy getting, because yes, you can definitely achieve those things. Okay. Tell me, were you happy with the results you were getting during the coaching, after the coaching that you've gotten so far? Are you happy with it, and why are you happy with it?
Of course. And I am happy with it. And why? It's because, just because of the results that I've been getting, right? So over $100,000 closed. But at the same time, these are with people that I've built relationships with, that have connected with me. And sometimes they're overseas, right? They're in other countries. I live in the United States. It's across the United States, right? They're not even. It's not like they live in my local area, it's really cool, to think about. For example, you're in Thailand, and beyond just the numbers, I think connecting with people around the world has always been a goal of mine. Right? I mean, I want to travel. I want to meet people in person. I want to see people and places, and try new things, try new foods, and everything like that. But I feel like this has opened up a gate for me to just connect with people around the world in a much more substantial way, right? And really form relationships, so that maybe when I do finally meet them in person one day, it'll kind of just amplify the effect, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So I just love that piece of what I'm doing right now, and what you've helped me do so far.
Excellent. Thanks for that. And yes, I think it's amazing that you've gotten results from a personal point of view, from a professional point of view, as well as from a financial point of view. So in those three areas, which are really main areas for all of us in our lives, you've gotten results just from a short 4-week coaching program. Okay, it wasn't even long. I know some coaching programs takes you a year to achieve the results, or 6 months to achieve the results, and you've managed to achieve it in a very short period of time, and that's excellent. Okay. Overall, what impact did MSI coaching have on your life, your business, your career, or even your relationships?
I would say just in life in general. Now, it just going through my day-to-day life, whether I'm in the store or on the phone with, if I'm having to deal with some insurance thing or anything like that, I'm not afraid to kind of just be out there now.
Okay.
Ask questions, get clarity on certain things, right? It used to be where, I'd be on the phone with someone and um, they kind of just tell me something, or whatever they would tell me I would agree with.
Okay.
But now, I mean, not that they're lying to me or anything like that, but
No, of course.
now I'm just not afraid to kind of clarify things and get much more clear through my language and the things that I say. That's really helped me just in life, and it's removed a lot of unnecessary stress that I would put on myself for not getting clarity on certain things. In business, I think right now, just cultivating sales skills, it's going to help tremendously when I do decide, later on to start my own business. But right now, even like what I was saying, connecting with people around the world, or if I meet someone, out in my local area, or if I'm on the Shaper app and I connect with someone, just having these sales and communication skills helps me network that much better, right? So it's setting me up for future success in business.
Excellent.
So that was life, business, and then what was the next one that you had?
Career, which is really business, and or even your relationships. Do you feel it's had an impact or a positive impact on your relationships with people and with personally as well as maybe professional relationships? Professionally, I think you've answered. So maybe on a personal relationship point of view, do you think it's had an impact there?
So for me, from a personal relationship point of view, yes, it has helped me, especially with my family, right? So when a good example is I was just talking to my mom, maybe I think it was like last week, and we're like I was telling you, I was a little bit shy in my conversation before. Kind of scared to ask certain questions and that kind of stuff. She's literally the same way, but kind of, amplified a little bit. So maybe that's where I got it from. But, we were having a conversation about, I think she was dealing with a veterinarian and they just weren't helping her out or something like that. They weren't being very clear on what she was trying to, on the questions that she was asking. And she was asking me in the conversation we were having, like, why does this happen, right? Why is this, why am I so scared to actually just kind of, speak my mind or just be kind of stern with the questions that I want to ask? Like, she's not trying to hurt anyone, but she just wants to get clear on certain things. And I, from the coaching that we had and from what I've been experiencing so far, I was like, wow, Mom, I was having the same issue, before, and now I know exactly why it's happening.
Okay.
And here's what we can do to fix it. So that right there is great. Something that could be transferred in my personal relationships, and then just kind of day to day, talking with my family, talking with my friends. It's just changed. It just changed my language a little bit. Or
Excellent.
my choice of language.
Excellent. Thanks for sharing that. I think that's a great example you use, because yes, we do tend to inherit things from people that are influences in our lives. When we are little, we learn habits, we learn mindsets, we learn certain skills from people, and they don't always serve us in the best way. And if you can help other people to move through that and get better results in their life, that's really a great thing. So excellent. Thank you for sharing that.
I hope she's okay. I hope she's okay with it.
I'm sure she'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the big question. If you look 12 months down the road into the future, what benefits will MSI, the Mastering Sales Influence Coaching we did, what benefits will it still give you?
I think as long as I continue to use the skills that we've worked on, during our coaching, and I continue to progress in the sales arena. Definitely one. I mean, of course, there is the great possibility of increasing income, right? Because, like we said, there's no ceiling in terms of a sales career in that aspect. But at the same time, I feel like within 12 months, continuing to do this, just cultivating so many more relationships worldwide with people, that's going to be a very, very big thing for me moving forward. And a very exciting thing as well, right, is just having, I've always dreamt of having a worldwide network for a few years now. And I know that's going to come true within the next 12 months and beyond, of course. And then just at the same time, just having the confidence to say, hey, look, if I wanted to maybe start something, or I know we talked about maybe starting a YouTube channel, me and you, or not me and you start one, but I was talking about that with you, doing things like that, just having the confidence to put myself out there. I think that's within the next 12 months, that's what it has helped me with as well.
Okay.
So those three things are the major things that I'd be focusing on.
Wonderful. Yes, thanks. I think from my point of view, that's really all that I wanted to discuss with you. And thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing it with us, because other people are going to see this, and it's really a good thing if they can see that, yes, they can get results if they put themselves out there. If they open up to people, if they learn certain skills and certain techniques, okay, they can really improve the results in their life, whether it be personally or professionally or financially. Okay, it's just really a matter of working with themselves and breaking through the things that's holding them back so they can achieve the things they want in their life. So thanks for sharing that with us.
Of course.
As a last thing, is there anything else you would like to add? Anything else you'd like to say?
I think, well, maybe there's a couple of things that I just want to add really quick. And I think, for anyone going into a sales position or a closing position, or anything involving communication and business, with doing business with people, just having the confidence in yourself, in the way you speak, having the confidence in what you're representing as well as a business, it's just very key for fulfilling this position to the best of your potential. I know, other people in sales positions, as well as myself, that's sort of a battle sometimes, right? Is just gaining that confidence. So finding some way, shape or form to do that it's going to 10x your results, right? Triple down on your results. And then at the same time, I kind of mentioned this, but having, as a salesperson, having someone that can kind of coach you through the certain things that you need to overcome. Because for me, it was a lot of just having the confidence to say certain things and be a leader on the call, which is really why I needed you to help me. But having someone that can kind of pinpoint, okay, what are your certain challenges right now, and what can we do immediately to fix it, right? That we can take action on to fix it. Because sometimes maybe you're searching for the answers, or you're trying to Google it a whole bunch, and you just don't see exactly what the issue is, where someone with the experience and everything from the outside looking in can help you deal with. All right, so I think those are the two things that I would like to add for anyone listening. Confidence and just having someone to guide you through the process of improvement.
That's right. Thank you for sharing that. And yes, I think you're totally right, is that coaching can help people gain the confidence. If they're not confident, they can gain the confidence. And that usually comes from applying a certain technique or using a certain process or system and getting the results, because that then builds confidence. Okay, so it might be scary to step back and say, let me do this, But once you do it and you see you're getting a positive result, it becomes easier and easier. And through that, your confidence builds.
That's right.
And you are totally right. I think we all, get so involved in our own lives that it's always worthwhile to have somebody on the outside looking in and saying, hey, do this like this and do that like that, and maybe try this, and it's just to guide you. And I think that's what coaching is really all about, is to guide people to access their own inner power, the things that they already know that they can do, and guide them through the insecurities, the things they find challenging, so they can go out and achieve excellent results like you've been doing, really exceptional results. Yeah. And you can feel proud about that, because it's not everybody out there, whether they have coaches or not. Okay, it's not really about that. It's really about not everybody out there can go and achieve the results that you've done, and those have been really extraordinary results. Especially if you take the time frame in consideration, the time of the coaching, 4 weeks, okay, and like 2.5 months later, you've achieved major goals, okay. So in a period of like 3.5 months, and you've made major changes to yourself, your life, the impact you're having on people, like you say, worldwide, you're having the impact on people, you're connecting with them, and that is all things that's happened, and in a very short period. So yeah, just imagine what the future holds.
Yeah.
I think it's really limitless. It will only be limited by what you decide to do. And exactly. I think that is excellent. So yeah, thank you for sharing this with all of us. I think we all appreciate it. And
I appreciate it as well.
So thank you very much. Mm-hmm. Excellent.